What up, people? Coach V, New Breed Boxing. Great question today from my man Anton B. He asked me what level, experience-wise, of opponent should I be sparring with when I first get into competitive boxing? Great question. And what I'm about to say is going to go for boxing, MMA, kickboxing, all combat sports across the board. So as the theory goes, you do not want to put two new guys in the ring together initially because neither one of them has the experience to know when to take their foot off the gas. It'll turn into a shootout. Somebody will get tagged and it's going to be off to the races. Everyone's going to be in survival mode and no one's going to learn anything. The developmental aspect of it's going to get lost in the sauce. And it's just going to be basically a scenario where you're going to find out how tough you are maybe at best. And it's not what we do in boxing. It's all about hit and don't get hit and learning how to use your mind in the ring instead of showing how tough you are. Although that is part of it. But that's not the highlight. So ideally, you want to put yourself in a situation where you're in there with somebody much more experienced, with your coach in the corner that will expose your mistakes without taking advantage of you. And the coach will explain to you what you're doing wrong. You'll be able to make those adjustments while you're in action in the ring. They slow it down, maybe run the scenario back in real time. But it'll be a developmental situation. That will run its course eventually because you want to start sparring a mixture of experienced guys and less experienced guys with your level of experience, meaning because those sparring sessions will be less technical but more aggressive, which is a good balance. So this way you're prepared and you have a well-rounded sparring repertoire, so that you've been exposed to a little bit of everything by the time you have your first fight, because that's how they match fights up. Age, weight, and experience. There's no real super accurate way to dictate who's got what level of experience, so everybody kind of just does a little bit of homework on each other and they roll the dice a little bit. But usually it's pretty fair, pretty accurate. And that's how, boxing is done in the competitive level in the amateurs. So you want to kind of replicate that as much as you can in the gym. So yes, you don't want to put two new guys together in the beginning. Put the more experienced guy in there to expose the less experienced guy, but then you put that guy in again against less experienced guys on his level, and then you kind of go back and forth. You kind of want to ping pong a little bit of both, and then you want to mix up sparring partners, guys a little bit more, a little bit less, varying levels. Start going to different gyms and testing yourself against completely different styles, because one guy is not going to be able to expose you to everything. So, and another thing, like I said, you want to make sure that you don't continue sparring the same people, because again, getting into that sparring partner mentality where you're just going through the motions, that becomes an unproductive waste of time, and it makes people lose their passion for the sport, and that's really not the best way to get it. So initially, like I said, stay in your comfort zone, work with your people, let them walk you through it step by step. They take the training wheels off. Put you in another situation where you're going to be able to kind of fend for yourself and kind of show what you got, kind of dig in a little bit, challenge yourself. And then depending on how long it takes, everybody's different. Your coach will let you know when you're ready. And then you'll be good to go to step your game up. And then you start learning under the bright lights in front of a crowd. That's when you really start stepping your game up and taking it to another level. So anyway, hope you found this informative. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, share. Go check out my Instagram at coach.v and put your experience in there too. I want to hear about your first sparring session. Was it good? Was it bad? Did the guy have more experience, less experience? Whatever the case may be, I want to hear about it. Anyway, till the next time, we up out of here. Out.